Good morning. So, I'm here today with you with another deck profile, and today we have purple. So, we did something a little bit interesting over holidays slash New Year's slash me and my friend's birthday. We had a small little 16-man local Digiman tournament between us. Some of us in person, some of us joined in via webcam. All of us playing what I think to be pretty good decks. So this is the deck that got 4th place. My buddy Matt played it. Him and I built it together, play tested it together, and this is a purple control deck that I think is a little bit different from what you're going to see a lot of purple players do. So, hope you enjoy. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Let's go ahead and start with the babies. We have 3 Pagumon, because he is the best purple baby. And we have 2 Yamon. So the reason we decided to play this ratio was because when we were playing 4 and 1, we were decking out. So this deck isn't like the... I posted another purple deck profile on this channel, and it is super aggressive. And this is the exact opposite. So you'll see that in some of the card choices later on. But on to the rookies. We have 2 copies of Tapirmon. Helps you draw. He's really nice. He's one of the ones that you want to get deleted. Along with 2 copies of Entmon. So these cards are kind of your bread and butter. We have 3 Gabumon. So most people are playing 4 Gabumon. And again, we have all the draw we need because this deck is actually Digivolving. So instead of playing 4 Gabumon, this deck actually values the Tsukaimon more. So we're playing 4 Tsukaimon. Now, Tsukaimon combos with the Venom Myotismon later on. So you put this under a blocker, and then you have the Venom Myotismon, and you pass to him with 1 memory, and then you block, and then this dies, and then you gain the memory off of this, and then you gain the memory off of the Venom Myotismon, and then whoops, it's your turn, because you gained 2 memory and they were at 1. So this deck really values the Tsukaimon more than the Gabumon, and you'll see that again with the Venom Myotismon and some of the other choices later on. But we also, to round out the rookies, we play 4 Demi-Devimon, and like I said just a second ago, you want to be leaving your opponent at 1 memory a lot, so you want to be playing as many of the 2-cost rookies as you can. So those are the level 3s. We play 14. Onto the level 4s. We actually have 4 Garurumon. Now, this card is kind of cool. It says, when one of your other Digimon is deleted, you gain a memory as an inheritable effect. So it combos really nicely with the Chimeramon, and it combos really nicely with the Weregarurumon, and it combos really nicely with some of the rookies that you want to have deleted, and it's just overall a good card. Most purple decks don't play this, but most purple decks aren't playing the evolution route, and we are. And we're not playing Wizardmon because, again, we don't really need the draws. We need memory advantage to put the control aspect of this deck into function. Speaking of control, to round out our level 4s, we got 4 Devimon and 4 Vilemon. There should be no surprises here. 4 blocker, and this is arguably the best level 4 in the whole game because it's one of the only things that has Death Touch or Retaliation or however you want to do it. But we play 12 level 4s. Helps us keep the chains, and with the 14 level 3s, the 12 level 4s, it helps us evolve up. Onto the level 5s, this is one of the cards that we don't usually want to evolve into. Most purple decks are playing more copies of Chimeramon than I am. I'm only playing 2. And you can recycle it when you need it. It's a good card and you want to see it, but I didn't really or Matt and I really didn't feel like playing more than 2 of this was necessary because we wanted more of we wanted the level 5s to ramp up a little bit better. So, but this is still an amazing card. It's one of the best level 5s in the game, and every purple deck should be playing some number of this. We have 3 copies of Greymon. So this card has an inheritable effect that passes up that says, when attacking once per turn, you may delete one of your other Digimon to unsuspend this Digimon. So with the Greymon earlier, you delete something, you make yourself active when you attack, and then you can swing again, and then you gain the memory from the Greymon because you deleted something else on your board. So, again, having the 14 rookies really helps out the Chimeramon and really helps this get going. And this is just a good card. I think 3 is fine. You want to see it and you want to evolve on top of it, but you don't want to play 4 because you would rather play 4 Myotismon because Myotismon can just be hard played for 6 and it's only 2 cost to evolve into. So it's the cheap option. This is the one with the good skill. You want to play both. Were 7 slots left in the Ultimates. I chose to play 4 of this and 3 of this. You could choose to play 4 of this and 3 of this. It's just what you value more. And Matt and I decided to value consistency over power. Because the deck draws a lot. So this is one of those decks that has a lot of combo pieces, but you get what you need. And the goal is to establish your board, get all of your pieces, and put enough pressure onto your opponent that you just win before you deck yourself out because they can't do anything to counteract you because they don't really get a turn because of some of the level 6s that you play. So we were playing Impmon. We have 1 Beelzemon. I'd consider bumping this card up in the list, but between the 2 of us, we only have 1. So it's a great card. You can just, if you don't see the Impmon or you don't see the Night Raid, you can evolve this on top of a Chimeramon. It's perfectly acceptable, and it's a nice card. I really like it. It makes the deck prettier, just because this is one of the best looking cards we have in the game. And I mean, just even in the camera, super shiny. It's a great card. There's the Yu-Gi-Oh player in me, if you all couldn't tell. But we have 4 Venom Myotismon. Now, this is the most important card of the deck. Some of you might not know what this does. This card just inherently has security attack +1. So, it gives purple strength. And with the Greymon being able to make this card active again, you can potentially swing in for 4 security in 1 turn with the same dude. It's got 12,000 power, so it's big. And it also says during your opponent's turn, if any of their Digimon becomes suspended, you gain a memory. Now, as I was saying, with the Tsukaimon and the blocker, you put them at 1 memory on their turn. They attack. It goes to 0. You block. The blocker dies. The Tsukaimon is under it, so you go to 1. Inversely, if you just get 2 Venom Myotismon on the board, and can continuously leave them at 1 memory, they just can only attack once every turn, and you can just outpace them at that point. So this card is amazing. I wouldn't consider it bumping it down just because of the lock it just puts onto your opponent if you get 2 of them out. And the sheer amount of offense that this card provides, just the 12,000 power with the security attack +1. It's something that you'd expect on a red card. And, we get it with all these deletion effects and all the control aspects that purple has and all the draw power. So I really like this card in this particular build. And then to round out the level 6s, we have 2 Lilithmon. Now, I'm not entirely sold on this card yet. I think this card is a lot better in set 1.5 than it is in set 1. But, you know, we're in set 1 now, so play with what you got. It's good. We play some options. This card can recover them. I wouldn't consider playing more of this. I would actually consider cutting one of this for the second Beelzemon. But it came up a lot in the tournament where, you know, you'd just grab a Night Raid, or you'd grab a Trump Sword, or, you know, you just grab something that you need and play it, and then you're back in the driving seat of the game. So it's a good card. And having something to diversify your cost when evolving up, because the Beelzemon is a 4 cost to evolve into. The Venom Iotismon is a 4 cost to evolve into. This is only a 3. So there were certain times when, you know, when you have Matt on board where you want to evolve into this and not end your turn immediately. And, you know, you can't necessarily do that with some of the bigger dudes. So it served its purpose. It was good. It wasn't really that clunky. So I liked it. You would play cards like I said, the Trump Sword and the Night Raid with the Lilith to get the combo pieces back. You got 2 of each. It's purple. You gotta play at least 2 Night Raid and at least 2 Trump Sword. I would have loved to bump this card up in the deck building and the play testing, just because this card is amazing. And I'm a big advocate for playing 4 of this card, but space in this deck is super tight. Now for the last option, we're playing 5 options. We also have the Back for Revenge. Now this card combos with a lot of the big pieces in the deck. And it gets you a body on board for free to combo with the Weregarurumon and the Chimeramon. It combos with the Devimon. It combos with some of your big level 6s if you want to trade with their big level 6s, because this deck doesn't have a lot of form of power gain aside from the Yamon. So I wouldn't bump this up just because you can recycle it when you need it with a Leopardmon. And then we have 2 Matt. So you have ways to get it back. It's a good card, but playing any more would clog. We're playing the 5 options and then the 2 Tamers. So setting your memory is important with this deck, because if you make them pass with your memory control cards, then you set yourself to 3. So there were a lot of the times that Matt could just play Matt and recycle his combo pieces, and then just get to a point where the opponent couldn't play the game. And it's hard to win if you can't play. And that's the premise of how this deck wins. You know, you get 1 of these, maybe 2 of these, and then your opponent just loses. The top 4 in the tournament, the deck that this deck lost out to in the semifinals was Omnimon Blue. Second place ended up being my Leopardmon Veedramon deck. There's a profile of that deck on this channel. And the first place deck ended up being my Greymon aggro deck that I piloted. And we will have a profile for that coming soon. But that's what we have for the meantime. Hope you enjoyed the Venom Iotismon control variant of purple that Matt and I built. Again, he got 4th place out of 16 people using a kind of rogue deck, so fun stuff there. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a good one, everybody.